Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Cynicalex, and once upon a time on this channel, I would make videos climbing from stage 95 to stage 99 against some of the premier endgame content, some of the most difficult world boss ultimates like Proxima Midnight, Cull Obsidian, and Corvus Glaive, and Ebony Maw. And I'm not being sarcastic, I'm not joking. I know nowadays the big dogs are the Nulls and the Mephistos and, you know, other things like chasing 10 million plus ABX scores and squad battles and all that good stuff, or one-shotting Danger Room Extreme, but there is one villain, one constant in our lives that every time we look over our shoulder, we check under our bed, we think he might rear his ugly purple mug. And that, of course, is Thanos, the Mad Titan. Despite all the new villains that have come to Marvel Future Fight, the giant boss raids, the story fragment farming, which of course Thanos is in that as well, and he's really difficult, the OG Thanos World Boss Ultimate is what we're going to be diving into today, because after all these long months, I have finally made it to stage 99. Yes, indeed. So we're going to be doing a fun little climb here, 95 to 99 with 5 different teams. Now, the fun thing about this is you not only get to see the impact of Pierce, but you also get to see that despite how much damage, how much more damage you're going to do with Pierce, and how much Pierce just shreds through Thanos' defense, you also get to appreciate that he's actually kind of difficult. For not being a world boss legend, he's just a world boss ultimate. He makes you almost feel like you're playing a world boss legend, because he will one-shot you, and he has all these different mechanics, and you actually have to turn the sound on when you play to listen for the snap, because the snap will basically one-shot any character that's on the field. So he kind of does feel like Null and Mephisto in a way, and you know what, it brings back memories, back before all this nonsense with the pandemic and stuff, back when it was the MCU dominating the movies, and you were excited, right? Some of us haven't gone to the theaters in over a year, man. I haven't held that buttery, artery-clogging popcorn in my hand for a long time, and I kind of want that feeling back. So anyways, we're going to jump in. We're going to go from 95 to 99. We're going to climb our way up and see. I was actually carrying Vision here with Null, but I don't actually have to do that. So let me just pop in and make sure. Shuri's being used there. So I think I need another support type. I can't use Wave. Let me find another support type for Null, and we're going to jump in on this stage with Null. So back in the day, stage 99 was actually completable without Pierce. For those of you wondering, it is still technically completable now without Pierce, but you have to use a very specific team, basically only Sharon Rogers, Nick Fury, and Deadpool, and you have to do a lot of swapping, and you basically stack up 100% all defense down with Deadpool, and then you switch over to Sharon Rogers and use her tier 3 skill, and that's the only way to do it. Now, as much as Pierce may have trivialized some game modes, I have to say, being able to fight Thanos straight up like this without having to resort to those cheesy strategies is nice. You know, it is nice. So I know that some people will be like, oh man, this content is so easy now because of Pierce. There isn't really a better option, right? Like, if you don't have any Pierce, maybe with no Pierce, I mean, maybe Null can do stage 99. I don't know. I'm not sure. We'll see, because you'll see how easily he does this with, this is basically 19% Pierce, because he's got 5% of his own Pierce on top of the 14% on my cards. But I actually just prefer this. You know, it's a straight up fight. There's no cheesy one-shot tactics. I'm actually having a bit of a hard time. My procs are either really early or really late with Null. We're getting a little bit unlucky here, but we should be able to... Wow, he already triggered my passive, which is not good, but we should be able to get to the next phase. Okay, let's see if Null can do this on the first try. I'm having a little bit of an issue here. Okay, we got his passive proc here for the heal, so we should be good. But yeah, you can see Thanos still does a whack of damage, and so if you're not, if you can't dodge his attacks, if you can't string together combos and things like that, sure, the damage is crazy, right? He only gets basically one shot for every phase that he goes through, and Thanos has a lot of phases. He's basically only having 1 or 2 windows of opportunity to hit me back, but if he hits me and he lands a hit, Null's dead, because I've already procced my passive and it's got a pretty long cooldown, so the damage is obviously real on both ends. It's sort of like a flinch first and you're dead type of match. But I prefer this to just one-shotting. We are going to be doing some one-shotting, sort of. You'll see. But I prefer just a straight-up boss fight, even if it's only going to last a couple of minutes. There's the snap that would have killed me. Oh, I didn't move my... That's hilarious. I didn't move my joystick for some reason, but I'll show you guys that, you know, Pierce allows me to basically do this with anyone. Not anyone, but at least this last bit of damage. It's not like I can't finish him off with Mystique. So that was a pretty sloppy run, but there's the first clear. Now we have to climb our way up to stage 96, and who better to do that than Sharon Rogers? So about a year ago, way before Pierce, players figured out that there was a special combo you could use with Sharon Rogers, Hydra Supreme Cap, White Fox, and then the Weapon Hex Doctor Strange Striker combo, and you could stack up 100% all defense down, you could accumulate here, and then you could kind of one-shot Thanos. And you could do it up to like stage 70 or 80, so almost 99. Here, we're not going to do the full one-shot, we're not going to keep resetting for this full one-shot, which is literally 20 bars down to 0, because Sharon now with Pierce has more than enough raw damage to just rip straight through Thanos. So all I need to do is wait and see what attack he does, and then based on the attack, we're just going to accumulate and then rip our damage combo here. He's going to jump on us, so we can just set this up prematurely. I only really need to accumulate one hit, because like I said, the damage on these stages is so high, right? He's doing like 50,000 damage per hit easily, which is going to allow Sharon to accumulate with basically one hit. That's all it takes. Here we're going to switch early to accumulate on this attack here. Then I'm going to pop the tier 3. This damage is obviously disgustingly high, and if it wasn't for the phase change where he moves out of the way, that would have one-shotted him and finished the fight just there. Now, fun fact for Sharon Rogers, for those of you that don't know this, there is still a bug that exists, that it's been in the game for over a year now, with her tier 3 bubble. So the tier 3 bubble that she creates right there, it gives you immunity. Even if you switch characters, the bubble stays there, and if you stand in the bubble, you have immunity. Once the bubble disappears, the immunity disappears. Makes sense. But if I go into the bubble and I press Sharon's third skill and I give myself the 5-second immunity, as soon as the bubble disappears, it will take away my 5 seconds of immunity from her third skill, even if there's 4 seconds left. So if you've ever popped the tier 3 skill and then gone into your next rotation against Null or somebody else, and then you suddenly get hit, and you're like, but I pressed my third skill 2 seconds ago. What's going on? I should still have 2 or 3 seconds left of immunity. It's because the bubble stripped it. When the bubble takes its own immunity away, it takes your immunity away, even if it's from a different skill or a different effect. So this is a bug that basically just has been documented in the game, but it has never been fixed. For that reason, I'm actually just going to wait until the bubble disappears. Well, Thanos was sort of winding up here anyways, but even if he wasn't winding up, even if he had gone into a skill, I would have either purposely moved out of the bubble to do my third skill, or I would have... it's going to be a little bit tricky. Or I would have let him hit me and then pop that, and we're done. Or I would have used the third skill outside of the bubble if it was still around. So there you go, 1.5 minutes. That's basically a one-shot, right? And that's how we're going to do it for the next 3 clears all the way up to 99. Similarly to the Sharon Rogers clear, this Moonstone team with Green Goblin and, you know, Shuri or Taskmaster or whatever is also capable of doing a pretty consistent one-shot. But I'm not going to bother you with, you know, or I'm not going to bother myself with infinite attempts trying to get the one shot all the way down to 0, because with Pierce now and with Moonstone's high raw damage, you can basically get the job done with just regular procs and regular rotations. And it's still a really fun fight. It's still challenging in the sense that you can't get hit. You can't really make a whole bunch of mistakes. You have to pay attention while you're playing. And I like it. Right? It's just that it's a little bit faster now, rather than a, you know, 5-minute slog fest where you're going right down to the wire on every single play, and you're like, man, every single rotation has to be perfect, and there's so much pressure. You know, games should be challenging, but they should also be fun. And I don't know about you guys, but I like my Thanos a little bit less challenging, and in this case, a lot more fun. So the damage proc is actually kind of late there. We're not going to talk about that, but we're going to move down to the second safe zone because of the tornadoes. We're going to wait and see what Thanos does here. We're going to bait him into attacking. Oh, can we finish him before... Yes, we can. Oh, the big burst from Moonstone. Because he was... So when you heard that little throwing sound effect, he was like whoosh, whoosh. He's basically creating these 4 blue orbs that I used to call blue balls in my edgy YouTube phase. And he throws them at you in groups of 2. He throws 2 and then he throws 2 more. It will strip your buffs, except immunity, and then it will leave a damage over time effect of either, you know, lava, tornado, or poison, or lightning, and that does like massive damage. Like it would have basically one-shotted Moonstone. You can avoid that by either iframing or switching characters. right after he throws those, he then goes into the portal himself and he chases you with the meteors. That's a pretty scary attack, and it can honestly wipe your entire team if you're not ready for it. So that's why I was popping the skill and sort of waiting to see if Moonstone could one-shot him, and I was watching his health bar go down, but I was also, you know, I had my finger waiting, hovering over Green Goblin to switch because I didn't want to lose Moonstone. Now we're 2 stages away from 99. We're going to go with Beta Ray build for the next one, and it's basically a copy of the Moonstone setup, where in the Sharon Rogers one as well. We're basically going to one-shot the first half of the fight. And the interesting thing is, before Pierce, Beta Ray build was really good for Thanos up until he couldn't one-shot anymore. So that's the really interesting thing. Pierce sort of makes Beta Ray build even better because Beta Ray build could go up to like stage 80 Thanos before Pierce, right? If you had good enough cards, but you had to one-shot, because if you got to this point of the fight, if this happened, you have to restart. And that's really frustrating to do almost a perfect one-shot. You know, you're 99% of the way there, but then the game's like, nope. And then you're like, well, you know, Beta Ray build, now that he can't apply all defense down, he doesn't have enough damage. Well, guess what? Pierce says Beta Ray build does have enough damage, and now he can do it. So again, characters that I couldn't use up to a certain point, or characters that I could only use under very specific, basically like perfect circumstances, I can now just use them anyways. So there's a lot of good to come out of the addition of Pierce to the game. We're gonna save his awakening skill. Oh, we actually probably shouldn't have saved it. He's gonna do the snap here. He does a 2-stage snap, I believe, yeah. Okay, nice. We're gonna try to one-shot him here. Oh, we don't wanna get frozen. We got frozen, and then we're gonna get, oh no. We got him here. Oh. Ooh, and he's 1 second. I think he's 1 second shorter than Moonstone. He's 1 second slower, not shorter. Beta Ray build's a tall dude, probably. Corbinites. But 1 second slower than Moonstone. Darn, Beta. That's going to hang over your head. You need a uniform, Beta, to keep up with Moonstone. Anywho, we're on to stage 99, and it sort of feels surreal. I never thought I would get this far against Thanos. And again, I didn't have any Pierce at the time, but I was able to do it with Sharon Rogers, with these most of these same teams, to be honest with you. But again, I was shuffling between stage 50, stage 60. Sometimes if I had a lot of time to spare in my day, I would do stage 70, or I would try to push to stage like 75. But I would literally have to sit on my phone for sometimes half an hour, 45 minutes, just resetting constantly over and over to get the perfect run. At that point, it didn't really feel like a game. It sort of felt like a chore or some sort of punishment I was enduring on purpose for, you know, some imagined reward. I find this a lot more entertaining personally. I don't know. I hope you do. I hope if you're still watching, you should find it entertaining, right? But yeah, so we're going to do stage 99 with Mephisto. It's only fitting. We started the video with Null. We will end the video with Big Mephi. Mephisto, huge damage. Almost can skip this phase here, going all the way down to 11 bars, but he's a little bit short on the juice, the juiceometer, as I like to call it. So we're actually going to switch here. Taskmaster, if you don't know, he's got legs. Look at this Taskmaster. He's got speed. Well, he got caught there. Okay, well, he has speed and agility until he doesn't. Remember, with Mephisto, if you switch, you have to transform. He transforms back into his base form when you switch characters. So yeah, I'm going to do some cheeky damage here. And now, don't die to the fire, Mephisto, which you never imagined possible for the Lord of Hell, but here we are in Marvel Future Fight, bending the rules. Fire dude, yeah, he can take fire damage, sure, why not? He's also fast enough to, woof, just get out of all that. Look at that, dodging all those attacks. Dodge the meteorites, sure, why not? Sure, why not? I'm gonna burst him all the way down. Oh, not quite. He's gonna snap here. This is deadly. I gotta respect the big Thanos. You think it's a joke? I'll show you guys. Well, I think you guys saw with Null getting one tapped. No one is safe from that one tap. That one tap still has some serious gas behind it. Oh, I think he's going to... Nope. He tried to portal away, but it was too late. So Mephisto finishes in style in exactly 100 seconds. Do we need World Boss Ultimate Stage 200? Do we need a Thanos World Boss Legend? I don't know. I only have 14% Pierce. I've said that Pierce a lot today. Imagine if I had 25. Imagine how much faster that could go. I don't know if it would go that much faster. But anyways, a nice mixture of gameplay and highlighting sort of the forgotten art of one-shotting, because I feel like the game is moving in a direction where one-shotting really isn't a thing anymore. I mean, it is to an extent, and there's always going to be the sort of combo that you use with a character when you're pressing a bunch of skills in rapid succession and you're ending on a big damage hit after a bunch of buffs. That part is cool, but I kind of am glad. I don't really think I'm going to miss the one-shot meta, because not only did it make the bosses seem lame and unfun, but it also just wasn't really the intended purpose, right? Like these characters are designed, they've got skills and animations, and they've got cutscenes, and you're just skipping all that. It's definitely novel and it's fun sometimes, for sure. You feel really powerful. You're like, I just one-shotted Ebony Maw. I just took him from full health to 0. I just pulled up at his house and just beheaded him. That's cool and it's fun sometimes, but I definitely think I've as a player moved past that, and I like the struggle. You know, you go into Mephisto's arena, you go into Null's arena, and you're not you, Apocalypse, not you. You go into Null's arena, and it's like you're juking it out. You're duking it out. You're getting into the ring with these titans, these heavyweights of the universe, and you're going blow for blow, punch for punch to see who's the last one standing. That's what I dig. And so Thanos kind of, brought that back in a way, because none of them were truly one-shots, and I kind of like that. So yeah, hit me up in the comments down below. Let me know what you think. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.